Good morning, everyone, and let me welcome to the students of BA 6th semester. I am Dr. Swarna, Assistant Professor of English from INM PG College, Meerut. I'm going to deal with another one of the most remarkable novels of Indian English literature, that is The Guide by R.K. Narayan, from the paper Literature in Films and Media Studies. If we talk about the Guide 1958 by R.K. Narayan, so R.K. Narayan is one of the best celebrated novelists in Indian English writing and is best known for his simple yet profound storytelling. Through his fictional town of Malgudi, he represents beauty, complexity, and contradictions of Indian society. The novel Guide is not just a story about a man named Raju. It is a story about transformation, identity, illusion, redemption, and unpredictable journey of life. It takes up through the character of Raju, an ordinary man who rises, falls, and unexpectedly becomes a spiritual guide. So let us begin the journey into the world of Malgudi and discover the character of Raju, a guide who becomes a guide in ways he never imagined. So now let's move forward to the novel The Guide. But before we move into the world of Malgudi or into the world of The Guide, the novel, it is important to understand the contribution of the author first. The author R.K. Narayan, who was born in 1906 in Madras, alongside with other famous Indian writers like Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao, he established Indian English writing at the global stage. But the question is, what makes R.K. Narayan unique? It is his simple and realistic style of writing. His writing is best known for his gentle humor, irony, realistic, and portrayals of everyday life. Actually, he didn't rely on complex language and dramatic plot. He avoids epic heroes, focusing entirely on ordinary people, their small town experiences, and their moral dilemmas. Through his storytelling, actually, R.K. Narayan shows us that even simple lives can have profound meanings. His characters are not heroes or villains, but real human beings with same strengths and weaknesses. One of the greatest contribution of R.K. Narayan in Indian English writing, that is Malgudi, a fictional South Indian town acting as a microcosm of Indian society where tradition continuously wrestles with modernity. But here, the R.K. Narayan's contribution to literature lies in his ability to turn ordinary lives into extraordinary stories, which makes him one of the most loved and respected novelists in Indian English writing. Here, the important point is to be taken into consideration that the novel The Guide was the first Indian English novel to win the prestigious Sahitya Academy Award in 1960. Now, let's move forward to the characters of this novel. If we talk about the irony of Raju's two lives, because as we know that Raju is the protagonist of the novel, The Guide. He is living between two lives. Here is a drastic transformation of this character, Raju, from life one to the second life. Life 1, the correct guide. Life 2, the incidental Swami, which is connected by the incident of imprisonment. And here, fate plays an important role. Life 1, The Corrupt Guide. Actually, the novel begins with the journey of Raju as a tour guide. He is clever, smart, talkative, materialistic, and overbearing. And when he meets Marco and Rosie at the railway station, he falls in love with this mistreated married woman, Rosie. And the two begins having an affair together. Rosie is having a dream, having a passion for a dance. Actually, she wants to become a successful dancer. Raju helps her to become a dancer and he encourages her to become a successful dancer. As time goes, Rosie becomes more and more successful dancer and Raju becomes the manager of this dancer. Raju manipulates his way to wealth as the manager of a dancer only to lose everything to greed and a forgery charge. Actually, what happens when Raju and Rosie become more and more successful as a dancer and Raju as a manager? Raju becomes more and more greedy to attain wealth at any cost. And he doesn't care about Rosie's tiredness and her health. So that's why he forced the signature of Rosie to achieve the wealth from her husband. And that is the turning point which turns the life of Raju into imprisonment. And he is sentenced to imprison and to jail. And what happens after his release? Fresh out of prison, he rests at a village temple and is mistaken for a saint and as a holy man. And the journey of transformation begins with this village. Trapped by his own pawn, he is forced to undertake a heavily publicized, deadly fast to end a drought. Actually, drought strikes in this village, and Raju willingly continues to keep the act of fasting for the sake of the innocent villagers. But here, the core question is this: is his final transformation as an act of genuine redemption or merely the result of forced circumstances? Let's see. Here, coming to the character list of the novel. The character ecosystem is divided into 4 categories. First one is the catalyst, which represents modernity and art. Second category is the pragmatist, which represents logic and reality. And third one is the anchor, which represents tradition and morals. And fourth one is the collective. But all categories are connected to one person. That's name is Raju. As I have discussed the character of Raju and the journey of transformation of Raju between 2 lives, now coming to the character, another character, Rosie. This is under the category of catalyst. So if we talk about the catalyst, which represents modernity and art, Rosie's another name is Nalini when she becomes a successful dancer. She is a passionate classical dancer who leaves her rigid husband for the sake of the dance, her passion. Actually, what happens, her husband is an intellectual person, logical person, and he doesn't care about her feelings, emotions, and even he disapproves her passion for dance. And that's why he leaves his wife alone. And after that, she becomes a successful dancer with the help of Raju. That's why she symbolizes independence and female self-expression in the novel. Now, Move forward to the next category, the pragmatist, which represents logic and reality. The character is here Marco, Rosie's husband, an intellectual and archaeologist detached from emotion. Actually, he comes to Malgudi for researching or for writing his book on the basis of research. That's why he neglects his wife and he avoids his wife's emotions or passions. And he doesn't give time to his wife. Even he leaves his wife alone when he comes to know about the affair of Raju and Rosie. So this is about this man, Marco, Rosie's husband. Next character is Gafur, a grounded, practical taxi driver who assists Raju in guiding about his career. The next character is Mani, Raju's loyal assistant in his managing day. When he becomes a manager, this man helps him a lot. The next category is the anchors, which represents tradition and morals. Here, one of the most important characters is Raju's mother. She deeply cares about Raju and she is very worried about Raju. She is a traditional housewife, but she is very positive. But she doesn't like Rosie and she doesn't like the relationship between Raju and Rosie. That's why fiercely rejects his relationship with Rosie. Even she leaves the home with Raju and Rosie alone. Next character is Valan. Valan is an important character, plays an important role in the journey of Raju towards transformation or towards redemption. A simple villager who blind faith and innocence forced Raju into sainthood. Actually, after his release from the jail, this is the man who misunderstood Raju as a holy man. The next category is the collective, the innocent villagers. Their collective unwavering belief in Raju physically shapes his reality, physically shapes his journey towards redemption or towards transformation into a spiritual guide. Now, move forward to the dual narrative architecture of this novel because the story is depicted on two tracks. The story moves on two tracks. First one is the past and the present. The whole story divided into two tracks, past and present, with the help of flashback techniques. If we talk about the chapter 2 to 10, so this represents the past, the childhood of Raju and the journey of Raju from adulthood, from childhood to adulthood. Raju is the protagonist of the novel. He begins his journey as a tour guide, and before that, Raju helps his father in maintaining the shop. Actually, Raju's father owns his shop and Raju helps him in assisting the shop before becoming a tour guide after his father's death. And he becomes, because he is very manipulated man and very talkative. That's why he becomes a popular railway guide. Everybody wants Raju as a guide at the railway station. But when he meets Rosie and Marco at the station, he falls in love with this woman, Rosie. And he drives Rosie's career as Nalini. Rosie is having a dream of becoming a successful dancer, and Raju helps her a lot. He assisted her a lot to become a successful dancer, but due to greed. And after becoming a successful dancer, he becomes the manager of this dancer. And becoming a manager of this dancer, he becomes possessive and he feels jealous of Rosie's popularity. And he commits forgery for the sake of achieving the wealth of Rosie's jewelry from her husband. Due to this unethical action, committing the forged signature, the fake signature of Rosie, he is sentenced to prison. This is the one track, means the past track with the help of flashback technique. The story moves in the flashback. Now come to the second track, that is the present, chapter 1, chapter 11 to 16. Raju arrives at the village temple after his release from the prison, and he is mistaken for a holy man or for a saint by the innocent villagers. But Valen first. Actually, what happens when Valen's sister doesn't agree to marry the man who is selected by Valen? So Valen carries her to Raju, and Raju convinces her to marry with the same man. So that's why Valen believes on Raju as a saint. In the starting, when he becomes a saint, he enjoys food, respect from the villagers. But after a long time, when severe drought strikes in the village and the villagers demand a fast to Raju, Raju confused a little bit, but he willingly accepts the act of fasting, and he willingly continues to keep the act of fasting. And due to inner spiritual crisis and climates, he becomes a spiritual guide or a spiritual person or a saint in real sense. So the whole story moves on to thread, the past and the present. Now, let's move forward to the themes of this novel. And the first most important theme is here, the descent into materialism. As we can notice into the character of Raju, the motivation Raju lacks all senses of religion or internal morality. He measures human values strictly through wealth extraction. He wants to attain more and more wealth at any cost, anyhow. Second is the exploitation. He isolates Rosie, treating her art merely as a resource to generate maximum income. He treats her as an object to gain more and more wealth. He feels like a failure if he is not constantly extracting money. And the climax of greed, the most important, driven by a desire for total control. He is having a controlling nature over Rosie after becoming the manager of Rosie. He forges Rosie's signature on legal documents for gaining the wealth from her husband. Due to and the consequence of this action, this unethical action is that imprisonment stripped of his wealth, he loses each and everything after committing this unethical action. Fame and relationship. Raju is forced into an environment where money is no longer attainable, forcing a complete reorientation of his identity, and he unexpectedly transforms into a spiritual guide. If we look at the character of Rosie, So we can notice Rosie's feminist arc, which is divided into three stages. First one is the oppression, second one is exploitation, and the third one is the liberation. If we talk about stage one oppression, she tried to married to Marco, an archaeologist who values ancient stones over living art. He is not able to understand the art, aesthetic sense, because he is logical person, scientific person, a researcher. He dismisses her passion for classical dance as degrading and emotionally neglects her. He totally neglects her, his wife's desires, and he is somehow very practical person. And on the other hand, Rosie is very emotional person. Stage two, exploitation. She leaves Marco to pursue dance. When Marco leaves her alone in Malgudi, so then she leaves Marco to pursue dance. Raju encourages her, but quickly becomes an overbearing manager, objectifying her success and restricting her freedom because he wants Rosie to more and more dancing. Stage third is liberation because Rosie here in this novel is struggling from the beginning to the end for the freedom, for liberation. She wants to live a free life. She wants to use her free will to become a dancer. Performing under the name Nalini, she survives the fallout of Raju's arrest. She continues to dance, achieving massive independent success, symbolizing the triumph of female self expression over patriarchal control. Because she is here at this moment, she is an independent woman. Now, coming to the next thing, that is illusion becomes reality. And you can watch here at the end of this novel, the setup. Raju begins pretending to be a Swami purely to survive because he wants to enjoy free food, free respect, which he doesn't deserve. And he fears of the villagers' offerings while offering Wagyu platitudes. The catalyst, Valen and the villagers totally relies on the faithfulness of Raju as a holy man. Valen and the villagers project their desperate spiritual needs onto him. Their faith is absolute and unquestioning because these villagers are innocent, easy to rely. The insight, Narayan question whether truth lies in action or in belief. This is the illusion. Society's collective acceptance of an illusion actively constructs reality. The villagers' unwearying devotion traps Raju in a corner where he must become the saint they believe him to be. So we can take the example of today's time also. Modern people and more educated people believe on saint, on illusion, we can say. So we have to find out what is the reality and what is the illusion. Next theme is the spiritual geography of Malgudi. Sorry, and here this spiritual geography of Malgudi represents the symbols in the novel. First one, the temple. The temple symbolizes the contrast between true spirituality and false appearances. It is a stage where Raju performs his grandest illusion to be a saint. Second symbol in the novel is the railway station. It symbolizes movement, change, and opportunity. It is the birthplace of Raju's materialistic ambitions. The next is the drought. The drought symbolizes a physical crisis that mirrors the internal moral emptiness and dryness of Raju's past life. Another example, and most important example of symbolism is here the river and the fast. The river represents a spiritual cleansing and renewal. Fasting transitions from a hollow performance into a symbol of genuine sacrifice and penance. So here we can see two the symbols in the novel which represents reality of today's world of Indian society. Here another themes are here the tension shaping the narrative. The tension here is between tradition and modernity, illusion versus reality, and identity versus role. Throughout this story, we can notice here this is a conflict between two terms modernity versus tradition, illusion versus reality, and identity versus role. If we take the example of tradition versus modernity, Marco's rigid traditionalism versus Rosie's modern independence, the simplicity of village faiths versus the commerce and the greed of the city. These are the events which represent the conflict between tradition and modernity. The next one is illusion versus reality. A fake saint versus a true sacrifice. We can notice into the character of Raju who begins his journey of transformation as a fake saint. But ultimately, he becomes a spiritual person in reality. The stark difference between what society chooses to see and who Raju truly is. The next conflict is identity versus role. Because this is the struggle. As we can take the example of Rosie's character, Rosie is continuously struggling for freedom, for identity. Guide, lover, manager, prisoner, Swami. This is the journey of Raju's character, who becomes a guide first, then a lover of Rosie, then manager of Rosie, then prisoner, and then ultimately transforms into a Swami, into a saint. The novel suggests identity is not a fixed trait, but an evolving series of performance shaped by one's environment. Because Raju is a dynamic character here who changes with the passage of circumstances and with the passage of time. Now, the ambiguous climax here, the ultimate test, chapter 14 to 16, we can notice the trapped by the drought and the villagers' expectation, Raju's struggle with guilt. For the first time in his life, he stops faking it. He commits to a 12 fasting genuinely for the sake of others and ignoring his severe physical weakness. The ending, he collapses in the river, feeling rain in the distance at the end of this novel, and Narayan leaves the ending entirely ambiguous, entirely open-ended novel. Does it rain? Does Raju die? The physical outcome is deliberately secondary to the spiritual victory of his transformation. Now let's move forward this novel's adaptation into film. If we talk about its cinematic adaptation matrix, literature versus cinema, so we can compare the aspects in novel and in film. If we talk about the tone, so if we talk about the novel, which was published in 1958, gentle irony, grounded complex is used in this novel. If we talk about the film, which was made in 1965, highly glamorous, romantic, and emotionally dramatized in the movie. So you can watch the movie The Guide, and which is directed by Vijay Anand, and the casting here, heroine who plays the role of Rosie, that is Wahida Rahman, and who plays the role of Raju, that is Devanand. And this is very interesting movie, and you can watch and you can enjoy. Now, come to the next aspect, that is the character of Rosie. If we take the example of novel, so the character of Rosie is complex and independent artist. But if we talk about the cinema, because with the help of auditory and visual elements, films are more appealing to the audiences, more attractive to the audiences. And the character of Rosie is expressive, cinematic, musical, dance sequences here into the films. Now, let's move forward to the next aspect, that is Raju. Raju is deeply flawed, morally ambiguous in the novel, but if we talk about the film, undeniable, heroic, and clearly redeemed character of Raju in the film. If we talk about the ending, as we know that the ending is open-ended novel. This novel is open-ended novel, and in the novel ends with thought-provoking ambiguity. It's up to the readers what the readers wants to achieve, wants to learn through this novel. Wants to means it's totally up to the readers what the ending is understood by the readers. And if we talk about cinema, delivers definitive dramatic emotional closure, and there's a little bit difference in the ending of the novel and the movie. After watching the movie, you can notice here. Now, this is the difference between the power of literature and the power of cinema. The novel relies on internal monologues, deep psychological insight, as we can take the example of Raju and Rosie, and non-linear pacing. This forces the readers to sit uncomfortably with moral ambiguity and complex human flaws. If we talk about the power of cinema, the 1965 films leverages music, visual dance, sequencing, charismatic acting to amplify the emotional impact. Because through the usage of auditory and visual elements into the films, it evokes the emotions, same feelings into the audiences better than the writing. And the visual medium requires a clear visual redemptions arc in the movie. So the impact is that by sacrificing some of the book's subtle irony for emotional appeal and cultural resonance, the film cemented the story as an undisputed classic in Indian pop culture and film studies. If we talk about pop culture or popular culture, so this novel as well as this movie is very popular in popular literature. Now, as we come to the end of this lecture, so just revise the core ideas of this novel. The work, which was published in 1958 by R.K. Narayan, the plot, a corrupt tour guide falls from grace only to be mistakenly revealed as a holy man and leading to a fatal redeeming fast. Core themes, transformation, illusions, identity, redemptions, materialism, and female independence. Legacy 1960s Sahitya Academy Award winner, adapted into a film 1965 classic and a 1968 play. The lingering question is here that can a person truly change, or it is the result of forced situation, or are they simply shaped by their circumstances? Because the novel teaches us to think, provokes us to think. This is a very thought provoking novel, and this makes us to think, does this motivation behind a good deed better if the outcome brings hopes to others? So we can say that it's up to the audiences. The novel teaches the audiences to think about faith, truth, reality, human nature. And through this novel, we can teach here that everybody's life is a journey full of mistakes, full of learnings, and possibly the journey of transformation or the journey of redemptions. So here we can see this novel is very, very interesting and very thought provoking as well. So, thank you, one and all, for your patient listening and kind attentions. I'll see you again on the next video. Till then, bye bye.